Hello and welcome to this video. This video is called Still Profitable? My Uber and Lyft Blueprint. So many drivers think Uber and Lyft driving isn't as profitable as it used to be, or it's not profitable at all. It's not even worth doing. But you just need a system, a real one, not a just drive more hours kind of approach. And today I'm going to show you how I still make this job profitable, even with shrinking margins, upfront pricing, and a flooded driver pool. So these are the exact pillars that I rely upon, and let's get into it. And stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to share with you adjustments you need to make for 2026. Unlike when I first started, there's kind of a way of doing things, but things are changing so quickly that we need to make certain adjustments going into the new year with all the technological, political developments that are around us. So stick around for that and a whole lot more coming up. Hey everybody, it's Jay Crater with the Rideshare Guy, drinking a little coffee out of my Caldi coffee mug. This is just a little home brew. As you can see by the clock behind me there, it's 20 minutes after noon. 20 minutes after noon. And this is my third cup of coffee. Okay, so by way of background, the whole thing's changing, right? We got Waymos. So back when I started, Waymo was an idea. Self-driving cars was an idea. It was something we didn't even really need to think about. Waymo's here, Waymo's in some markets, and before long, it's coming to everybody's market. So that means instead of humans driving, AI is driving. The other thing that's happening is AI is taking a lot of jobs, right? Amazon said they're going to cut 600,000 jobs because of AI. UPS just cut, I think, 50,000. So those are people that have mortgages, that have payments, who are now like, what do we do for work? Well, driving for Uber and Lyft, that's one way to make some money. Uber and Lyft make it real easy to get started and real easy to get your money every single day with quick pay. So, and to make things worse, those people who might have gotten rides to work, now they don't need rides to work. Instead of you driving them, they're out competing with you. So less rides, more drivers, more competition for those rides. So how do you remain profitable in this environment? So this video is broken into two sections. One is called the 3 pillars, and the second section is adjustments for 2026. Let's get into it. Okay, number 1, my 3-pillar plan. So let me put up this graphic. So what you see there are the 3 things I focus on. My target revenue, all right? How much money I gotta make, my expenses, all right? And tips. Those are the 3 components that make up the blueprint, and those are the 3 things you have got to get into some detail on. The devil is in the details. Don't go and say, oh, I know all this, because every one of those 3 little topics, there's so much depth to them, and you gotta get into the depth to become profitable. So let's start with number 1, sit and hit revenue targets. So you got to have a plan, right? Plan your work your plan. So in my case, it's always work 6 hours and make $200, right? 6 hours, $200. And if I don't make my $200, I'm going to have to do a little extra driving. The key is to hit your revenue goal, okay? Studies show that drivers who set weekly revenue goals earn an average of 12 to 18% more than drivers who just go online and hope. So set the targets, okay? There's a ton of videos and things about manifestation and visualizing your future and, vision boards and all of that. Just make it simple. I'm gonna go out, just declare, right? Just make a statement. I'm gonna make this amount of money, and then go out and do it. And if it takes longer, it takes longer, but you gotta hit that goal, all right? And if it's too high of a goal, hit it, but then the next day, lower it, okay? Just adjust. But go out and make it somewhat aggressive, because that'll drive you to greatness. Okay, number 2, keep expenses down. So I used to just focus on how much money I was making. And you really got to focus on how much am I making in profit, right? How much, and that is your revenue less your expenses. So if you're a full-time driver, I always found when I was a full-time driver that doing a lease with unlimited miles and insurance was the way to go. Because of the amount, if you're a full-time driver, you're probably going to be driving 6 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day. You're going to put so much wear and tear on a car. It's going to have so much depreciation by the time you want to like sell it. It's better to lease a car, beat up somebody else's car, and take advantage of those opportunities. Gas, right? Gas is a major expense. So you want to shop around and find the gas station that has the lower prices of gas. If you can save a few dollars and you're filling it up 5 or 6 times a week, that's $10 to $20. So, and there are those kinds of differences between gas stations. I always found that Safeway had very reasonable prices, and you didn't have to be a member like you do with a Costco. So your car payment and your gas are major expenses. Taxes really aren't a big expense because of the mileage deduction that we get. I always found that I paid very little in taxes. And then the other thing you got to consider if you own your car is depreciation. So these are things you got to kind of plan ahead. And then number 3 is tips. And this is like overlooked, but this can be up to 20-25% of your revenue if you get really good at it. The key to getting tips, I've always found, is to become a good listener. But if you're just going through the motions and you're not like treating this like your car, like an oasis for passengers to come in and just totally chill and totally relax and totally enjoy, you're missing out on a huge chunk of revenue. And it's pure profit because it's on top of what you're already getting for the ride. So, and Trump, it looks like you're going to get no taxes on your first $25,000 in tips, which is another reason to put a lot of emphasis on tips. So to summarize, focus on your revenue, setting a goal and going out and getting it. Really review your expenses so you know exactly what you're spending, all right, to earn that revenue. And then tips. Focus on tips, giving your customer the best experience so that you get more revenue. Okay, so those are the 3 pillars. Now let's go into the next section, adjustments for 2026. Okay, the biggest adjustment is you're going to have to become even better at only accepting high-paying rides. So these yahoos who come in from other companies, or they had corporate gigs and they got laid off, or they got let go because of AI, they're just going to start taking all the rides that they get, right? But you got to learn to be very specific about what you accept. Back when I started, I could take almost any ride and we all got paid the same. But now with this upfront pricing, you can get a ride that pays you $10 an hour or a ride that pays you $60 an hour. So you got to set your target. For me, it's $30 an hour, and I will never accept a ride that is paying me less than 30. Now, in your market, it may be 20. In your market, it may be 40, right? If I was in San Francisco, it might even be higher than it is in Sacramento. So evaluate each ride. You have 10 seconds to do it, and get really good at that. That's hugely important, especially as we go into the new year because of the increased competition. Number 2, work when others won't, all right? This has always been kind of a key to my success, is that I'm willing to get up at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning and drive in the morning when there aren't a lot of drivers. And, you get a ping and it's not, there's 5 cars that are close by. I get the rides because I'm usually the only driver out at 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm the guy that's going to pick you up and take you to the airport. So find those off hours where there aren't a lot of drivers, because I guarantee in most cities there are rides 24/7. But if you're driving around when there's a glut of other drivers, your chance of getting the ride is obviously much less. And finally, think outside of the box. So what else can you do besides driving? Because the writing's on the wall, right? The days of making a ton of money as a driver are whittling down because of all the things we've already talked about. Driverless cars, more drivers, less rides. Uber and Lyft are going to start, lowering how much they pay to the drivers. That's been going on since the first day I started driving. So you need to have a backup plan. And it could be being a private driver. That's an idea that I would have pursued if I were driving full time. I have jumped into day trading, which I think is something AI will not replace. There's a ton of things you could look into as a plan B going into the new year. Okay, so key takeaways. And isn't that a beautiful image? That is a cup of coffee sitting on a hood of a car with the open road and the sunset. I am enjoying ChatGPT very much, and I like to say, here's the text, and I need you to combine a cup of coffee, a car, the open road, and a sunrise. And that's what it came up with. So my key takeaway here is enjoy the ride. So I'm gonna make an analogy to day trading. When you're day trading, you have to make a decision when to enter a trade and when to get out of a trade. If you're a good day trader, that's all you need to think about. Everything else is already figured out, right? You have your setups, you have your certain rules, and once those elements line up, that's where you make your decision. And that's all your brain needs to worry about, is when to get in and when to get out. With driving, if you have figured out your expenses and you have figured out how much you want to make and you have your environment all set, all you need to do is enjoy the ride and make sure that the passenger gets the experience that you would want to have when in someone's car. So enjoy that, right? You've done all the hard work. You've done all the preparation. You've done all the calculating. You've done all the work to make sure you're going to be profitable. So when you accept a ride and it's paying you what's fair for you, enjoy the ride, because that can make all the difference in you getting a good tip, right? It can also make the difference on you having a safe experience yourself, right? If you're upset, you're frazzled, you're more likely to be into an accident. So learn to enjoy the process. This took me a while to do because I was always concerned, people in my car, my driving, getting them there fast enough and all of this. And eventually it just sort of clicks that you can relax and enjoy your passenger, drive leisurely, and give them an experience that they would like. So that's my key takeaway. Enjoy the ride. All right, so we covered a lot on this video. Go out, drive smart, drive safe, make it profitable. Thank you for watching. This is Jay Crater with the Rideshare Guy. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Studies show that the vast majority of people who watch videos are not subscribed to the channel they're watching. Subscribe, and then you get notified all the time, and videos from us will show up in your feed. Go out, tell someone you love them, make their day. Thanks again for watching. Be safe out there on the road. I love being a driver. I hope you love it as much as I do. Have a great day. Bye for now.